So there was another shooting involving a cop and a minority and another Black Lives Matter protest, this time in Pennsylvania. Let's get into it. So I just want to welcome everyone to my channel. Thank you for visiting. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and also don't forget to hit the little bell for the notification so you can get notified of my latest videos, as I am pumping out this content on a daily basis so you don't miss a thing or reporting. Again, appreciate all of the support and helping to get the truth out there, shining a light on what's going on in this country in areas that a lot of the mainstream media and these forces refuse to show, and having conversations that they don't want to have. We are going to make sure that we are no longer the silent majority. All right, so let's get into it. All right, so you may have heard already. If not, in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, from my former home state. I'm from Philly, by the way, originally, but thank God I got the heck out and I am now in the great country of Texas. Lancaster is not too far out of Philly. No, it's not Amish country. It is a small city, very small city, not much going on. All right, so basically what happened yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, a minority by the name of Ricardo Munoz, if I'm pronouncing his name right, attacked these police officers with a knife, lunging and coming at them. And it wasn't until he was barely 1.5 feet away from the officers, practically no more than 2 feet away from the officers, but they allowed them to charge at him pretty close before they fired shots, and unfortunately he passed away. And guess what Black Lives Matter and Antifa got together to do? So here's a picture of the man Ricardo. So, and body cam footage of the incident was leaked and put out there of him, again, actually lunging at the cops. So I will put a link in the description box of the story so you can also read and see a lot of it for yourself. But essentially, again, he's coming at the cops with a knife, and yet you still have Black Lives Matter out there rioting, destroying parts of the city, and chanting no justice, no peace. And my thought is, what the hell are they looking for justice for? What? He attacked the cops. So my thought is, and this is what we need to do, we really need to start to rise up against this dangerous rhetoric. I predicted this happening. I predicted a rash and rise in police violence, attacks against the cops in some of my previous videos. I'll put a link in the description box of those previous videos, so feel free to check those out down below, okay? But essentially, Black Lives Matter and Antifa, they do not care about actual police brutality. Police brutality does exist. There are real cases out there, but it hasn't been really any of the cases they've really talked about so far this year, other than George Floyd. And even in his case, that whole situation could have been avoided had he complied and not been strung out on drugs. But what happened to him, what Derek Chauvin did for being on top of him for as long as he did, was, there's no words to describe it. That was just wrong, callous. But that's it. Everything else, they have been promoting anarchy. The concept that they have been putting out there, and the mainstream media has been supporting this, is that no matter what you do, you will be held a victim. You can commit a crime, and if the cops are coming at you to detain you or arrest you, you have the right to fight as if you did nothing wrong. If you're being detained, even if you didn't do anything, but they're trying to clear things up, they're encouraging you to view the cops as antagonists, and that you can fight back. And if you resist, if you do not use common sense, they don't have the right to detain you or try to get you under control. You can fight back, and no matter what happens, you'll be considered the victim or the martyr if you pass away, and will be remembered as the person who started a movement and or helped kickstart a movement. They are handcuffing the police to the point where they are making it that the cops are terrorists no matter what. You can come at a cop, attack them, and they'll still yell, no justice, no peace. They have created a situation like in Compton. I did a video on that. I'll put a link in the description box below for the Compton video, where they have created the cops, painted a picture of the cops as being terrorists to the point where it's okay to go out and shoot at cops and try to execute them. That's essentially what happened in Compton on Saturday. Young boy comes up to the cop car and shoots in the cop car point blank, and I believe gets him in the head. And guess what? Black Lives Matter then tried to block the entrance and exits of the hospital where the ambulance was trying to transport those injured cops, saying, "We hope they die." And I've seen people in mainstream media, social media, I should say more specifically, trying to claim that those cops in Compton are terrorists, a gang that's out there killing the community at random. And they deserved it. This was just retaliation, gang retaliation. So they're trying to justify it. This is the mentality they're trying to put. Black Lives Matter is a trained Marxist organization seeking nothing but chaos and destruction and attack of the police. And they'll burn your cities down, create chaos and havoc, and then try to blame it on Trump, saying this is Trump's America. It's time for us to rise up and say, we ain't having it. We love all people. Everyone deserves justice. Actual incidences of police brutality, police corruption cannot be tolerated. We need to deal with those on a case-by-case basis. But it is not all right to attack cops. It is not all right to commit a crime and think you can get away with it or run away from the cops. It is not okay to fight back against the cops. Even if you feel as though they are harassing you unjustly, live to fight another day. Even the revolutionary Tupac, of all people, was jaywalking, got harassed by the cops. They beat him up. He's got the pictures to prove it. He didn't fight back. Even Tupac knew, you know what, that's suicidal, don't make no sense. I've got my case. I've got the pictures to prove it. I'm going to sue them and take them to court. That's what you do in actual cases of police brutality. You do not fight back. You do not attack the cops. We need to do away with this rhetoric because that's where it's headed. I predicted this again in some of my previous videos. Please be sure to go ahead and take a look at them. How I saw that this was going to become a trend because more and more people, they've created such a picture of all cops as being terrorists that it's now open season on the men and women in blue, regardless of whether or not if that specific individual did anything. All right, so that's my story. I want to know what your thoughts are. Do you believe that there is a plot of propaganda programming in the mainstream media and Black Lives Matter to paint all cops as terrorists, evil, racist, out to kill? And that there is a license to do whatever you want, resist however you feel? We're on the side of Black Lives Matter again, and I honestly do believe that there are people who genuinely care about Black Lives Matter, about police brutality, but their genuine concern and kindness is being manipulated by these trained Marxists to take the movement in a direction that it had no intentions of going. So I do feel sorry for them, but they've been taken over by these radicals, and it's time for us to take it back. You see these liberal-run cities just allowing them to do whatever, holding the cops back, handcuffing them in a lot of cases and not backing them up. This is what is happening in these Democratic-run cities, and I see it happening even more under a Biden-Harris administration, to be perfectly honest. And let's not forget that Black Lives Matter and Freddie Gray, Mike Brown, all started under the Obama administration. That's when the seeds were sown of this radical group that's just trying to destroy and take over. It didn't matter who was in the presidential office. Although, honestly, all of this really has to do with the local level. What's happening in that particular city, the attorney generals, the city council, how are they handling what's going on in the community? This has nothing to do with the White House, but we do need to make sure we are taking back our streets, which starts on the local level, local elections. Know who your city representatives are, who is in the state council, who the mayor is, hold them accountable, and we need to vote them out if they're not living up to their end of the deal, if they're not looking out for the best interest interest of you and your community. And we need to fight back against this rhetoric that's trying to sabotage even the Trump campaign, Trump administration, even though they are not really doing anything themselves to actually add to this. If anything, they are trying to protect and send out the National Guard. But you have a lot of these liberals trying to score some points and say, no, 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 no. We don't need your National Guard, racist Trump, i.e. governor of Wisconsin. Day later, you have the Kyle Rittenhouse shooting, and then he's like, oh crap, yeah, I need that National Guard. So that's my story. That's all I had to say on this. We need to rise up against this rhetoric. Let the voices be known that we ain't having it. And I really do believe that this Black Lives Matter movement is backfiring and the people have had enough. So again, I want to know what your thoughts are. Please leave a comment in the comment section below. If you like it, like. Don't forget, if you are not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. And if you are subscribed, don't forget to hit the notification bell, because I am pumping out this content and putting the truth out there on a daily basis, and just so that you can be notified and be able to watch it. That's all I have. Thanks for watching Boss TV. Have a great day. I'm out.